Who beat and raped an 86-year-old woman back in 2020 has now learned his fate. Jack Carlin will spend the rest of his life in prison for that violent home invasion. Our Michael Laparty live tonight at the Harris County Jail with much more on this sentence. Michael?
Daniela, that man is currently behind bars. The prosecutor told us that the video that you're about to see was played during the trial, which just wrapped up this week. The Harris County District Attorney's Office has just released body camera footage they say shows a police canine confronting a naked man in the bedroom of an 86-year-old woman he had beaten and raped.
It's everyone's worst nightmare, honestly, that someone can just break into any stranger's home and rape them. It's awful.
Prosecutors say Jack Flynn Carlin II was convicted of sexual assault of the elderly on Tuesday and sentenced to life in prison by a jury. Keegan Childers is an assistant district attorney who worked the case.
We thought the verdict and the sentence were appropriate. We were happy with that verdict.
The DA's office says Carlin knocked on the woman's front door in February of 2020, but after she refused to let him in, he went around the back of the house and used a lawn statuette to smash through a glass door.
Once he broke in, he raped her multiple times over the course of 4 hours.
Childers says the woman was able to get away at one point to take a call from her granddaughter, who called 911. The prosecutor told us police then went in with the canine after the woman got outside.
Her injuries were pretty extensive. She had to go to the hospital. She had bruising on the right side of her face, down her neck where she had been grabbed.
The prosecutor says that Carlin did not know the woman who ended up testifying at the trial. The district attorney's office says that Carlin was previously convicted of burglary, aggravated assault, and 2 counts of indecent exposure.
Oh, but we need some prison reform. We need prison reform. Well, you see how that's working out, right? It's not working. Someone made a comment in the comment section on a video from yesterday, and I totally agree. The person said a lot of people that were marching and referring particularly to Black women, they just thought, oh, we're marching for our Black men. Let's see them march for you, sweetie. Let's see them march for us. I'm willing to tell you, and I hate to say it, but it's true, that more than when something bad happens to Black women, if we're killed by someone, and heaven forbid by a non-Black man, even with this mass shooting in Buffalo, when it comes to women, you will find so many low-performing, inferior men, chocolate drops, praising it. Praising it. So Black women, you may have thought, oh, we're fighting for our men. Let me say, why don't you let these men be men? How about we try that? I'm about to take me a little walk on the beach. Why don't we let these men be men? Sometimes if you try that, boo, you'll see things will work out better for you. And she made a comment. You thought you were only marching for Black men. Oh, prison reform. No, boo-boo. They can't have prison reform just for one group. It will apply across the board. So ergo, this is a POS that we got. You got this crap right here. Prison reform applied to him too. He had already been in there. Maybe if he had stayed in there, maybe this woman would be assaulted. 86 years old. Ooh, I just wish she would have had a friend of hers that starts with a 9, MM for Mary, one already in the chamber and just let loose. And that's the second thing we're going to have to do. Again, in the financial news, they're forecasting it's going to get worse. It is going to get worse, more layoffs. And you do know that more layoffs will be more than likely. It can apply across the board, but the people that can least afford it at the bottom. I hate to say it, some women don't realize how tough things are until things get to the bottom when they can't afford to house these dusties. I wouldn't be, if they have given him life, some old dust bucket Becky might take this trash in. Well, it's family, it's got to take them in. Ergo, it's time to start trying to secure things now with elderly. Alarm systems, and maybe they don't want a gun, maybe a stun gun, something. Can't sit around here in la la land with rose-colored glasses on like everything is going to be really okay. It's not. It's not. So prison reform. How many people have to get injured, murdered, killed, or assaulted? If they had kept his monkey behind up in there, his big Neanderthal-looking forehead. Oh, I hope the inmates can see who he is, because you know what? I believe it's more than likely going to get a thing called karma. Get that work. Oh, yeah. Women and children. Oh, when they find out someone's grandmother. Ooh. I hope he reaps what he sowed, an evil deed. So much for prison reform. It applies to this thing too. That's why we have to, in life, as you get older, you will learn, we have to make more informed decisions. We have to. See one thing and go for it. Like that Cynthia G video. They saw one thing, CYNGN, and I'm talking. I have a sense of humor. Oh, they better light my rear end on fire. Simply said, oh, I know. Okay. Calm down. Gotta think things through. So this right here, and I guarantee you this man probably hates his mother. Or he hates Mama Becky. Becky mama. I bet he hates his mother. And that's why he exerted his low level of humanity on that woman. His anger, beating her in her home for 4 hours, violating her. He's so weak that he can only exert his power on a defenseless 86-year-old woman. That's why Dusties do what they do, women and children. But I hope the inmates can see the photo of this big-headed, receding hairlining monster and put that work in. Now we got to pay for 3 hots and a cot. The depravity among us. We have to really be making calculated decisions, thinking things differently. It's time to maybe check in on the elderly alarm systems. I'm telling you. If they don't want a gun, which I really can't say to do that because each person is different, a stun gun or something. While you're watching your little show, meanwhile, have that stun gun or something nearby. Have it nearby. This is where we are. I heard a guy in a gun class say that. He was like, you're in your home, have it in a room with you, because you never know. You may not have time to run down the hall and go grab it. That's where we are. So this here, I want to show this video to see the depravity among us, and also an alert. We have to start taking precautionary methods toward the elderly, especially if they're living at home, alone in a home. Or if they're in a high-rise building, that may be different. But we really have to start taking precautions, not just for ourselves, but for our elderly, because we have trash like this here. And think, this is just one that they caught. So thanks for watching the video. I hope it can shed some light. Again, it's time to start checking in on the elderly. It is. Maybe consider a life alert. Maybe consider a stun gun if they don't want to handle a real gun. But it's something to consider. Because I'm thinking if maybe with a stun gun, things like that may can kind of stop the person a little bit to give you a chance to get away. And we know they don't move so fast. So thanks for watching. Feel free to comment. Let me know your ideas on the subject and stay safe.